Erick, what is networking for you? Because, I mean, we all talk about networking, we go to events and this and that. What is networking for you? How do you define it?
I think everyone is talking about networking, so it's essential to have simple terms for that. Well, I think networking is about people. But what do you do with that people? First of all, let's say, when you know people and you can get in contact with them to solve situations that you or your team cannot solve by themselves. But it's also how can you or your team help other people solve situations and problems they have. But lastly, it's also about connecting. It could just be like a bridge or a link and know someone that needs a situation to be solved and someone that could solve that situation, and you can connect them. So
can you make it in simple terms? Like,
if we put it in three simple ideas, it would be what you can give, what you can get, and how you can connect or link.
I like it.
And at all times, it has to be a win-win situation for all the parties involved.
Yeah, I like on how you define in a very simple ways, right?
Yeah.
Because it's what it's really about. It's what you give, what you get, and how you connect the dots, right? And in this part of the interviews, the panelists will actually want to know about your networking skills, right? And it's very important for you to have a definition of networking and actually your skills. How do you actually give, get, and how do you connect points? I think it's really important to have this in mind, right?
Yes, and I think one of the scenarios that will enable you to define how you do all those three things will be precisely your networking example, which can be drawn in a similar picture as the leadership examples for roles, in which you draw a context of what happened in roughly 30 seconds maybe. Then you talked about what was the situation or the challenge, how you confronted, how you used your network, and what was the outcome at the end of the day, without forgetting the networking skills that you put into practice there. And it's interesting because when talking about all this networking thing, I said people, but you have to look at the bigger picture. It could be a big group of people or a big organization sometimes. And let's think of Chevening and their network and how we involve with them. If you think about it, you are giving something to Chevening, aren't you? I mean, aren't you? How are you planning to give back to the Chevening community? How did you address that question in your interview?
I remember they have asked me this question, and what I have told them, right, is that I would serve as a link between my Chevening fellows and my professional network. It's actually how we defined it before, right? What you give, get, and how you connect. So I believe that their interaction actually would possibly create new business, right, or political and strategic opportunities for both parties. So that's how I see network, right? So, and I remember they actually have another question as well about networking. They have asked me, and I want to know how did you answer this, is how would you benefit from the Chevening network? If you see, we define it what you give,
and this is what you get.
That's what you get.
This is what I'm getting out of the Chevening network.
Yeah, so how did you define this?
Yeah, I did get that question in my interview, and what I talked about was that through the Chevening network, I could get in contact with like-minded individuals from Latin America in terms of construction and technology. So that whole network of people, could utilize the environment to develop construction technology implementation strategies throughout the countries of the region. And by doing so, we could have a positive impact in the economies of these countries. So at the end of the day, the idea that I was trying to sell there is that I was utilizing the Chevening network connect with those people and have a positive impact in the economy of the whole Latin American region.
I think I really like on how you think. I think no wonder why you are here. You are a leader. You are really inspiring.
We're both here.
Both here, but and I think another point that is really important to mention, Erick, is this whole Chevening experience, right? It offers actually a multicultural exchange.
Yeah, totally.
Your Chevening network, your university, and the UK itself. You find people from all over the world, right? And
I think
how do you benefit from it?
I think there's a lot of potential in each people that you get to meet out there, because when you connect with so many different cultures, I think one of the things I have taken advantage of, but I did mention that in my interview, was the multicultural acceptance that you develop. Because by doing networking, by getting to know that many people, you get to understand that you need to accept other people's culture, other people, how they do their things, and that could happen in your work environment.
I think, Erick,
while developing policies, we're doing things back home.
I think what you probably want to say is that you have to, with this opportunity, you are able to develop a multicultural intelligence. Right? What is multicultural intelligence? Like, you are able to work with people with different countries, and to some extent, on how I see the world, we are going to a more globalized world. Right?
Indeed.
Here in the UK
Indeed.
example, you meet people from Asia, Africans, Americans, like a lot of people. How do you work with them? Right? How do you accept their culture? How do you guys interact? I think that's really important, and I think you should mention as well in your interview, if you can, actually, because it's a really, really important skills that will be needed in your workspace in the future. And as more important as we pretend to be, or we aspire to be global leaders, right? We will lead with people. I'm leading with you right now, like
this is multicultural acceptance here.
Cultural acceptance. He's Latino, I'm African, and I think it's important to understand that, right? To be able to communicate with people.
To understand and develop that skill. That
exactly.
skill.
You're right. Right?
Yeah. So I think it's been enough about networking.
We done?
Yeah, let's go to the other section.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Let's do that.
Yeah.